My name is Jonathan Pace, not Pace for the ones who are wondering, and I'm a dear friend of Nuno Almeida who's shooting this video. And I'm an Italian guy, I'm 25 years old, I come from the northeast of Italy, like near Venice, and I moved to Lisbon a year and a half ago, and so it's been quite a lot, and that's where I met Nuno. And yeah, I'm a photographer. I do more or less street photography, lifestyle photography, landscape photography, like a mixture of everything, because what I actually like in my photography is setting a mood, like having a sort of atmosphere in some ways. And yeah, that's why I try to merge every style of photography inside, you know, my own style. And beside being a photographer, I'm a content creator, also like to shoot videos for YouTube and to create contents for all these platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and that's it actually. Like these are all the platforms that I use. So basically when I was in Italy, like before the COVID, before pandemic, I was a freelance photographer and videographer and also graphic designer. I used to do commercial jobs, like I used to work with fashion brands and music artists, and I used to do weddings as well, if you were wondering, and all this kind of stuff, usual photographer stuff. And then I moved to Portugal, and right now it's not like photography is not my main job, but it's a passion, a big passion that I have, and that I'm trying to go on with in some ways, and I'm trying to, you know, to evolve in this field and to be, yeah, to be better, to improve and improve, adapt, overcome. And yeah, my brand, because I have a brand. My favorite brand is Lumix, Panasonic Lumix, and I always shot with Lumix cameras. Like my first camera was a G7 back in 2016 or 2017, something like that. And then I moved to the G80 and the GX80, that is currently my favorite I don't know, my favorite street photography camera, because it's so tiny and I can pair it with every kind of lens. And lately my favorite lens is the 20mm 1.7, and I'm creating a bunch of contents for that lens as well on my YouTube channel. But I also love to shoot with vintage lenses, especially M42 lenses, to adapt them with my speed booster and stuff like this. So yeah, what's important to me honestly is having like a small package. That's why I decided to shoot the Micro Four Thirds, because it allows me to go around and just shoot a lot of pictures and document what I'm doing, and have a lot of memories actually that I wouldn't have if I had like bigger camera bodies, but also bigger lenses, like if I was a full frame shooter, basically. That's why I'm proud to be a Micro Four Thirds shooter. As I said before, basically the most important thing to me is having like a small equipment, like little gear, you know, to carry with me when I'm going around, when I'm on holiday, when I'm having like a small trips, like this one in Patayas, or Patatas as I call it. And I always carry with me also, apart from my Lumix gear, I always carry with me my little Xiaomi YI 4K action camera, that is like a sort of GoPro thing, but cheaper, but still good. And yeah, that allows me to create a lot of contents and you know, to have little gear to take with me. On that action camera basically stays inside the pockets of the jeans, so guys, you already know. And yeah, because I want my content in general to be informal. I want to inspire people to just go out and shoot with whatever they have, because I know that a lot of people on YouTube are preaching about buying expensive gear, having expensive gear, and gear that looks expensive even if it's not expensive, like big gear, you know, because you look professional, because you have to look like that and like this, you know. But still, the most important thing in photography, the more I go into this you know, photography journey, the more I understand that it's the result. It's not like the gear, it's not the means, it's what you want to tell to the people who follow your work. It's what you want to convey, you know, the message that you have in some ways. And yeah, I always try to do that, and I can do that also with this kind of action cameras, you know, with the Xiaomi that I mentioned before. And that's why, you know, this kind of gear makes me move in some ways. It inspires me to go out and to do new stuff and to shoot stuff in general. And that's why I don't have like a specific genre of photography in which I'm closed into, you know, I don't have a sort of photography jail in that sense. I like to shoot everything from landscape, from lifestyle photography. I like to shoot people when they don't know that I'm shooting them. I know that it sounds strange like this, like going around with a telephoto lens or a bridge camera, as me and Nuno always say. You know, this kind of weirdos who go around with the bridge cameras. Weirdos apart. That's what I like to do, you know. I like to capture things in their, I don't know, in their honesty in some ways. I don't want to, I don't even like to pose people. I like to shoot whatever is in front of my eyes in some ways. To, you know, to have a mixture of what I'm seeing and how I'm feeling. This I achieved through the edit, because my edits are a bit heavy, and some people might notice that he's laughing. No, some people notice that my edits are a bit heavy, but in my opinion they're not that heavy. It's just that I want, you know, I want a cohesive look. I want all my body of work to look like it's shot by me. I think that it's honest. What do you think so, guys? So, if I have to be honest, I started being serious with photography in 2017, 2018, because before that I was much more into videography. Honestly, my first camera was always a Panasonic camera, but it was a camcorder, so it didn't allow me to take pictures, and it was the Panasonic SD90, and I used it for my, you know, for my very first projects when I started university, because I studied cinema at university, so I wanted to have this kind of camcorder, like a do-it-all camera for my projects. And but then the more I used it, I was happy with the result, but still I felt like I needed an interchangeable lens camera, and I felt like I was missing, you know, the fact of the possibility of taking pictures as well. So that's why I bought the Lumix G7, because coming from the Panasonic SD90, I was, you know, I kind of liked the look of Panasonic stuff in general, and I know that they are much more drawn into videography than photography. But I think that in the end I found what I was searching for with Panasonic. And yeah, so I started being more serious about photography in 2018, because before I was just using like random cameras from my friends, just like that. It wasn't even an hobby, like I was just taking pictures also with my phone, just as holiday memories, this kind of stuff, family stuff, you know. And yeah, but since when I bought the Lumix G7 and I understood the power of changing lenses, of having this kind of lens to do this and that kind of lens to do that, I gradually got into photography, because I felt like I had this possibility to express myself beside videography, and at the moment I totally shifted into photography, and that's what I'm doing, like 90%, even though I still like doing some videography stuff and filming and all this kind of stuff. Okay, so talking about inspiration, my very first passion in general is cinema. It's something that I always loved. I've always been surrounded by VHS and by DVDs later when I was a kid, and I've always loved watching movies. And I think that that is one of my biggest inspiration, even though I don't have like a straight up reference for what concerns my photography that is like related to cinema. I just think that I've seen I've watched so many movies in the latest 25 years that my eye is kind of trained in some ways for photography as well. So that is one of my inspirations. But if I have to mention some cinema inspirations that I have to mention my favorite genre in general, that is drama, because I love drama movies. I love how they can convey such massive emotions inside one single film, basically, and that's what I'm trying to, you know, that's one of my aims in photography, to try and convey a lot of emotions, a lot of stuff, a lot of intimate stuff as well in one single shot through photography and then through editing, of course. And yeah, so basically this is I think my most important inspiration for what concerns cinema, because my favorite movies are more or less like that. For example, my favorite movie in general is The Hunt by Thomas Vinterberg, and it's Thomas Vinterberg was one of the founders of Dogma 95 movement back in Denmark in the 90s with Lars von Trier. That probably it's more probable that you know Lars von Trier than Thomas Vinterberg, but still I love that movie because it's full of different emotions. It explores both sides of the story. It's so interesting, guys. So if you haven't watched The Hunt before, you have to do it right now. And yeah, basically it's what I'm trying to do with photography, you know. And I just hope that one person can see it through my body of work. Yeah, that's the thing, because I can, but you know, it's always about the audience. The other people should evaluate your work, because you know, we are always biased, because we feel like we are artists. We feel like we do the most important thing in the world, and to us it's like that. But then it's always about the audience, because guys, it's all about you, honestly. Okay, so as I mentioned before, I create contents for YouTube and for Instagram as well. And so right now my main goal is to get more exposure on what I create in general, because I don't know, I think that it's important. As I told you before, guys, we should be, you know, we have to be objective, but at the same time we should evaluate us a bit more, because we are always prone to, you know, to say that what we do is not enough, that what we do is, you know, is low quality in some ways, that we should do more, we should do better. But the thing is that honestly, what we do is enough for who we are, and what we do represents who we are and what we want to do. So it's up to God, and it's up to us, guys. And yeah, so my main goal is just to get more exposure, because I want other people to understand this kind of message, because sometimes I receive messages on Instagram talking about like my videos and how I get good results with small gear, with cheap gear in some ways, and some people are actually inspired by these videos, because some people may have the same gear that I have and just leave it on the side, because they think that it's not enough. They think that they need bigger bodies, bigger cameras, more expensive gear in general. But in the end, the result is, you know, it's your fault in some ways. It's you. It's always you. Like, these are just means, this microphone, this camera that is recording me in this moment. These are just means that we can use to achieve a result, but it's all about us. And so my main goal, like in general, like in the, you know, in the future, will be make a living out of all this content creation stuff, because as I told you, I was working as a commercial photographer and videographer in Italy, so I know how it goes. I know that honestly I prefer doing my stuff. I prefer to be creative, 100% me, than just do it for the money, or always being, you know, controlled by someone who's paying you in some ways. So in my opinion, the most important thing that we have, and I've come to think of it like this in the latest years, is time, and how we spend our time, and what we do with our time, and how much time do we have in general. Because, you know, it's always about money, it's always about you know, buying expensive gear, doing super interesting stuff, spending a lot of money in general. But art is something different. Art comes from the inside of one person, you know. Art is everywhere. You can't buy art, or well, you can buy art, you can buy NFTs as well, and you can buy everything, but still you can't buy the creativity that you have. And that's what I want other people to know. I want to inspire other people doing this kind of contents, you know, with my small gear, my small cameras, with the action camera as well, because you know, that's the most important thing in general. In the end of the day, you should feel proud of what you did, and you should feel proud of your own capabilities. That's it. Okay guys, so I think that for today that's it, and thank you so much for watching. I hope that my words were, I don't know, inspiring, on that in general you liked watching this video. And I wanna say thank you to my dear friend Nuno who shot this, and this creative talks format is very good, and I always tell him that he should go on with this. So this is only the first video of a new series. And guys, if I got you interested in what I do, you should check out my work, my website, my YouTube channel, my Instagram, and that's it. Actually, my work is just there. I don't want you to check other stuff because my work is all there. And guys, thank you so much for watching again, and see you soon in Nuno's channel and in my channel as well, if you want. Good afternoon.